The Rock has finally explained why he urinates in water bottles. WWE have disputed Keith Lee's medical bill claims, and an unexpected wrestling return has been teased by a WWE personality. Stay tuned. It's a story that has been on everybody's lips since 2017.
Center of the wrestling universe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When the Rock filmed an Instagram video in which he accidentally included a shot of a water bottle, seemingly that was filled with urine. There was some kind of yellow liquid inside that bottle, and a lot of people question what that is. Well, it could be an isotonic drink. It could be some sort of protein potion. We didn't know. We didn't know.
Just a bottle of egg.
Well, the Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the highest paid man in Hollywood, has since come out.
Arguably the most famous person on earth.
He's up there. He's come out and actually, God bless his honesty, he has confirmed that he does pee in water bottles. Hyping up his appearance in Black Adam, he addressed the long-standing rumours, saying the headline is actually true. I do. I pee in water bottles. He added context, stressing that this isn't a bottle that he's putting in the dishwasher every night. This is a bottle that he does not drink out of. This is his pee bottle, okay? So you can see a picture of it there back from the Instagram video. It's a bottle that he no longer uses. But what's the reason, you're asking? The reason is the Iron Paradise, his mobile gym, doesn't actually have a bathroom. It's just a big tent. He's got no plumbing in there, so he's got to pee in a bottle. So if we can put this story to rest now, thank you very much, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I think his quote was just, "I'm a very hydrated man."
Well,
sometimes I've got to urinate.
It didn't look like it, because in the Instagram picture, it was quite a dark urine. I don't want to get into the analysis of the urine too much.
No, let's break this down. Maybe The Rock isn't as hydrated as he thinks.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the Rock can absolutely do what he wants, right? But you would think with his money, highest paid man in Hollywood, get a lavvy in there. What are you doing, Dwayne? Sort yourself out.
It's the way of the road.
There you go. Anyway, that's your news for today. Just kidding. We've got some more stories. Don't worry. We just wanted to get the big one out of the way first. Next up, WWE have disputed Keith Lee's medical bill claims. So Keith Lee obviously released from the company earlier this month, and a few days later he issued a statement saying. Part of it said, at least, I paid all my medical bills from the many offices and machines I frequented. There is positivity in that, and I do find it amusing that people believe anyone but me paid for my medical expenses. It came as a bit of a surprise, I think, because WWE have for a long time paid medical expenses for their talent, and Andrew Zarian of Mat Men reached out to WWE regarding Keith Lee's statement, and Keith Lee, a statement has now been issued by WWE in response, and they say Keith Lee's recent comments implying WWE failed to pay his medical bills are erroneous. WWE has an extensive healthcare program for the medical care of its in-ring performers, and Mr. Lee was part of this program while with the company. Should Mr. Lee have any concerns over the payment of medical bills, he is welcome to address them with WWE. I'm not really sure what to say about this. I feel like WWE coming out and saying that maybe there's been some miscommunication somewhere.
This is it. There might just be like a financial clerk somewhere in Titan Tower currently hiding behind the desk because they've got this pile of paperwork they forgot about. It could just be something as simple as that, like it just hasn't quite made it through the system, or I don't know. But yeah, as you said, WWE would usually cover most like situations of, where medical costs are incurred. It's one thing they seem to have done. I mean, even when we go back to late 90s, 2000s, you'd see all the rest and recovery videos and all the doctors kind of working on people, and so it's just, I don't know. I think we'll find out more about this as it develops, I feel, because it's certainly not over yet. But
hopefully he gets reimbursed.
Yeah, hopefully.
If he has paid out of his own pocket, hopefully they
absolutely
sort that out. And with this sort of stuff, medical stuff in the past, they've actually been really good about the sort of thing.
They still maintain
I hope that happens.
They maintain aftercare for talent that no longer work for the company and things like that.
Yeah.
So
totally, and I think it's often something that they don't get enough credit for. Anyway, we'll keep you updated on that. Next up, some NXT stars once again in SmackDown Dark Matches. So this has been happening for about a couple of months now, I guess. We've been seeing a lot of NXT stars get these dark matches. Some of them have ended up being called up. Some of them haven't. One of those, in fact, that hasn't is Dakota Kai, who once again had a dark match. You got to expect that it's happening fairly soon, but she's just come back to NXT. I don't know. Anyway, she was on the show last night. Wrestling Cora Jade, which was her main roster dark match debut. So Cora Jade there. I don't want to sit here and speculate as to whether they're getting called up or not anymore, because
kind of futile now, isn't it?
It seems to be a regular thing, but it's just a curious thing. And also Carmelo Hayes, NXT North American champion, teaming up with Trick Williams to face the Viking Raiders. The Viking Raiders picking up the win. But I mean, maybe they are being groomed for it.
I seem to remember us reporting a while back that there was that kind of disconnect with Vince and the PC and NXT, where stars he felt weren't quite ready for the main roster, whether that's from, like a performing to a larger crowd aspect. It wouldn't surprise me if the dark matches are now just a way of, right, come on, every month or every couple of months you're going to get a match in front of a larger crowd just to kind of get you used to it, get acclimatized to it, and hey, if they love you, you might end up on the main roster. But that's what it's starting to feel like for me, just like a quick come up, get some experience in front of the bigger crowd. All right, next time, maybe work the crowd a bit more, maybe do this, give them some notes. It might just be that type of thing now.
Yeah, possibly. An unexpected one happening yesterday. A tweet coming out from seemingly nowhere from Corey Graves, saying that, in fact, it's very to the point. I kind of want to wrestle again.
Yeah.
He won the 24/7 title on Raw this week. Obviously, it's a fun moment for him and everything. And his WWE run, his NXT run, was cut so short following a couple of concussions back in 2013, 2014. He was forced to retire from in-ring competition. And then they gave him the opportunity behind the commentary desk, and he's been pretty good value as well. They made the right choice doing that for sure. And he had a really successful independent run as Sterling James Keenan. Yep. I knew the words, I couldn't figure out the order of them there. I saw him wrestle once, actually, a long time ago. Yeah, I saw him at Portsmouth Pavilion. I can't remember where it was anyway, but he's good, isn't he? So he has mentioned that he wants to do this before, hasn't he? In 2020, that he started training again, inspired by Edge's return in the Rumble. I'd like to see it. Even if it's just a few physical moments, even something that protects him.
Like, I think it could be one of those things where maybe he could potentially get secretly cleared, but we'd never know. And maybe it'd be somebody lays their hands on him, and it could build, and that'd be quite a nice little payoff story, like without it being too intense. But at the same time, he said he's been training with his brother Sam Adonis since, as you said, since kind of getting back into it after Edge coming back. So I don't know if he's still regularly training, but it certainly sounds like he must be if he's getting hyped to kind of tease a comeback.
I'm going to throw this out there, and I don't want it to seem unfair or offensive, but I actually think he's more valuable behind the commentary desk. If I were WWE, I wouldn't be getting too excited about this, because if he had been established as a main roster wrestler and everybody knew who he was from back then wrestling, then maybe like a return to the ring would be a bit more alluring. But I just think he's a very valuable commentator to have, and so you don't really want to take him away from that role too much.
It's hard to find commentators. We've seen WWE go through, phases of we'll try this, we'll try that, we'll try a bigger booth, we'll try a smaller booth, we'll do this, we'll do that. But Graves, he just sort of seamlessly, after his little NXT run, he just seamlessly slotted in to,
he's good, and he's
to
very
commentary.
talented guy.
He just knows the psychology behind it. So I think, yeah, you're right. He's probably more valuable to the company as a commentator, so it wouldn't surprise me if they do clear him. It might just be like a little one and done style thing. But even then, I'm not going to begrudge him that because he gets to wrestle again. And
oh yeah, totally.
So long as
I'm
he's
not
safe,
saying it shouldn't happen.
Oh no, not at all. But it'd just be interesting to see.
We are finishing off with a bit of an update on Jim Ross. Obviously, he is battling skin cancer at the moment, and he's just given a bit more insight into what's going on his Grilling JR podcast this week. He said, I don't like dealing with this skin cancer, but that's the hand I've been dealt. The only thing I can do is get healthy and go through all the procedures to ensure that can happen. On the 22nd of November, the doctor found 2 more places on my back, and he's going to cut those out in one appointment. Then earlier in the day, I'll have gone to my cancer doctor, and they have to build a boot for me to do the radiation accurately, which I'm all for. It's 2 different processes. One is my back, which I didn't even know I had, and the other is a big one on my ankle. Ironically, the one on my ankle is healing up real well. I've got a big month of November. It's going to be an aggressive month. And he's also just talked very quickly about his return to the booth with AEW. And he said, I'm damn sure going to fight this with everything I've got and get through these radiation treatments and hopefully just move on about my business. It may be time. I know we're going to go to TBS in January, and I'd really like to be good to go by January and be back in the announce booth. I may not miss any shows at all. I don't know yet. And if somebody can't figure that out, well, the deal is I've never had radiation. I've got to figure out how I'm going to feel. If I can't do my work to the level that I'm comfortable with, there's no way in hell I'm going to force that on the fans. When I get full of piss and vinegar, watch out. So,
it's all the best to JR, really. The guy's got a hell of a fight ahead of him, and he seems more than prepared to handle it.
Totally. He'll smash it. Of course he will.
Yeah.
Sending our love to you, JR. Take care of yourselves. I'll be live tonight about midnight for AEW Full Gear live reaction. So come and join me there. It's youtube.com/cultaholic/live. And we'll see you there. All the regular content following tomorrow as well, of course. What happened at WTF, and then reactions with Andrew and Ross on Monday as well. So stay tuned. Have fun. Go and piss in a bottle. This has been the news video. Goodbye.